Hello, welcome back to Comfort Cooking with Ariana. Boy, we are going to do lemon meringue pie. And let me tell you about this damn pie here. We did 2 videos yesterday, but the camera, we couldn't get to stop trying to send it immediately to Wi-Fi. So we had to scrap those. I ended up making 2 pies that I couldn't use the videos for. Then I woke up this morning and I made it again. Now this time I'm doing it by myself. I made the video, didn't transfer it to the computer, so when I went to go save it, I took the SD card out, so I wiped the SD card clean, and the videos wouldn't save because it wasn't on the computer. So I have to make this damn pie all over again. 3 pies. This will be my 4th. I have some happy neighbors right now. Alright, let's get to it. Lemon meringue pie. Super easy if you follow these steps. Not a lot to do with it, really. I mean, the most time-consuming part is making your meringue, which I'll show you how to do. Let me get my cream of tartar out. You need cornstarch, about 1/3 cup. You need about 1 1/3 cup of white sugar, granulated sugar. You need 1 1/2 cup of water and about 2/3 cup of lemon juice. Now, you can squeeze lemons. I'm not squeezing all those damn lemons. I'll leave that to you. But if I were doing this and I really wanted to be super fancy and this wasn't my 4th pie, I would add lemon zest and I would candy some lemons to put around the meringue. I'm not doing all that. I'm not feeling that much muchness, as the Mad Hatter says. I have too much muchness. Alright, get started. We're going to start here with 3 tablespoons of butter. Do not cook with margarine. Margarine is... there's nothing good about it to cook with. It doesn't add the creaminess factor that you need. You need that fat when you bake and you cook. And that's what butter's good for. Unsalted butter. So we're going to put that on a low heat. Now you don't want to brown it at all. You don't brown it because it gives off a nutty flavor. So you just want to melt it. And when that's melted, you're going to add your sugar to it. But while we're waiting for that to melt on a low heat, trick of the trade, add your cornstarch to your lemon juice. Because if you add it to the curd, which is the lemon pie filling, when it's hot, you'll end up with clumps. And this grainy texture, it won't cook out. So, let me get a fork. And just stir that up. Keep an eye on your butter. Once the pan gets hot, it will continue to melt on its own. Now, if you're that person that likes your lemon meringue pie on the really tangy side, then, you know, you compensate for water. So, like I said, we have 1 1/2 cup of water. So if you want to use 1 cup of water, then you can use roughly about 1 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And your liquid ratio is still the same. It's just tangier. I like it kind of right there in between, where it's not too tart, but not too sweet. And that's why I opt for 2/3. So now that that's all incorporated, my butter's melted, I'm going to go ahead and add my sugar to it. Now the reason why I add the sugar to the hot butter, and while you're doing this, keep it off of the heat directly because, again, you don't want it to caramelize. And I apologize, I'm making the videos by myself. My husband has finals, and yeah, it's just, that's what it is in this house, finals. Although I'm really glad I ended up graduating when I did, because I don't know if I could go to school with all the stress factors nowadays, you know. It's just as if I'm that old. I'm only 43. Alright, so now we're going to add our 1 1/2 cup of water. And we're going to bring that to a Now you want to make sure your sugar's dissolved. Again, you don't want that grainy feeling. A good rule of thumb though is have all your accoutrement on hand, because this is unforgiving. So now we're going to separate our eggs. You need 4 egg whites to now notice I didn't add my lemon curd, the lemon and the cornstarch yet. Be careful separating your eggs, because if you break that yolk in there, well, your meringue is just going to be, ugh. Who wants yellow meringue? The yellow color, we're going to save that for the pie filling, because you don't get a lot of color from the lemon, believe it or not. All your color for a lemon meringue pie comes from the egg. It's that eggy color. So I don't make this often. However, for the past day or so, I've made this 4 times. This is more of a, this is more of a, special occasion. Like I said, my, I didn't say, my husband's birthday was yesterday, and he really wanted this pie, and we decided to make a video out of it. And then the video just kept going and going and going, and 4 pies later, I'm like, we're not making another lemon meringue pie here anytime soon. Okay, so while we're waiting for this to boil, we're going to start working on our meringue. I don't really pay attention to measurements on this one, because I need my cream of tartar to make my white stiff. So I'll add about close to a teaspoon. That's not even close to a teaspoon. Here we go. It'll be closer to a teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Add that in there. And voila. Add it. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt to the simple syrup. And that's that. Now, I'll show you a trick how to get the egg into your simple syrup, but not quite yet, because you need everything to flow on its own pace. But you want to get that damn beater in the blender. There we go. Alright, so here we go. While we're waiting on that to boil, I'm going to start mixing this. You want to aerate your egg whites. That's all a meringue is aerated egg white with sugar and cream of tartar. The cream of tartar makes it stiff. It won't fall. The sugar flavors it. Otherwise, it's just white fluff. Like white fluff. This takes the longest time. But with 4 egg whites, they'll double in size, quadruple in size. Depends on how long you beat it. I don't like really poofy meringue, so I beat it till it is practically doubled in size. So I'm going to start that, and I'll be back. Well, I'm not going to be back. I'm going to be right here. And I'm going to kind of take you on this journey. And once again, I apologize. I have no camera, man. I'm manning this all by myself. Being a kid, this was my favorite pie in the whole world. You can get me to eat any other pie. You really still can't get me to eat any other pie. I'm not a big pie person. Not big sweet person, but it seems like everybody I know around me is. Alright. 4 little egg whites, double this size. We're halfway up there. That's how I like mine. You notice I took the simple syrup off of the burner. That's because we're going to add in our cornstarch and lemon. But we didn't want our sugar to burn. And we're going to bring that up to a boil. Now this can be tricky because your cornstarch is your thickening agent. So it's going to get thick real fast. You're looking for a custard-like type consistency. And don't forget that even when you turn the heat off, because of the sugar is going to continue to cook. That sugar is pretty damn hot. So we're getting there. Now be careful of the little bubbles. If it starts bubbling too much and you can't control where the heat's going, turn it off. And actually, I'm going to turn it off because I'm right where I need to be. Alright. This does not look like lemon meringue. It's a really pale white. I don't know if you can see that. Like I said, I have no cameraman. It's just me. How I do this, I take a spoonful of the hot and I pour it into the egg and I beat it. So I cook the egg outside of the mixture, because if you pour the egg in there, you're going to end up with scrambled eggs. And you just keep doing that until you feel comfortable. I do it until I hit, I don't know, until it's too hot for me to touch. But because I'm doing it in a tempered glass, I won't know. So I'll go up to about a cup. And we are about there. That's the color that you look for in a lemon meringue, that bright canary yellow. Now, like I said, your egg is already cooked. So all you're going to do is you're just going to fold this into the your curd. Or you can just pour it in. I would not recommend pouring it in until you become comfortable enough with tempering. Otherwise, you're going to end up with scrambled egg chunks. And that's worse than anything to bite into a lemon meringue pie and end up with curd chunks of scrambled egg. So I recommend folding it in as you go. If you haven't added enough hot to your egg, it's going to scramble. But it's easier to pick out 1 or 2 scrambled pieces as opposed to, you know, picking out half an egg's worth. So until you get comfortable. Now we're starting to get that canary color. Even now, I'm going to continue to kind of agitate it a little bit just to make sure it's all incorporated and delicious. Alright. I do not make homemade graham cracker crust. I just don't have the time or the patience for it. So we're just going to pour that into a store-bought pie crust. That's good. Next thing you do, now you could use all of your filling. I don't like it overflowing. Throw your egg white topping over that. Now, depending upon how poofy you like yours, that's a preference. But I do recommend not going too high, because if you have to refrigerate it, then it's not so good. Because it won't fit in the thingy. And just use all your egg whites. You may not use all your filling, but you can definitely use all your egg white. Don't abuse it though, because if you break those air bubbles in there, you're not going to get that rise anymore. And your lemon meringue pie is ready for the oven. You're going to bake it at 375 for 15 minutes. That's it. Like I said, everything else is cooked. And in 15 minutes, you'll have your lemon meringue pie. So I'll see you in a minute, okay? Alright. Alright. So my pie is ready. Look at that. That is a gorgeous lemon meringue pie. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Gorgeous. Perfectly colored. You can smell the caramelization, and the sugar is just fan-freaking-tastic. It is so, it's like the bomb.com good. So, if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. I think it's on this side. Give a thumbs up. And leave me a comment. I respond to everyone. If you have something you would like to see me cook, go ahead, challenge me. I love it. I live in my kitchen anyway, and I mean, what's not to love about cooking? You're feeding someone's soul. So once again, subscribe, hit the like button, tell a friend, tell them to subscribe, and let's get this choo-choo train let's get this choo-choo train going. Thank you and happy eating.